Hey everyone. 24 years ago today, a terrorist attack happened here in the United States. Two planes were hijacked and crashed into the Twin Towers, the World Trade Center, on September 11, 2001. Another plane crashed into the Pentagon in Washington, D.C., and another plane crashed in Pennsylvania in Shanksville when the passengers took control of the plane and they were aiming to gain control, but it ended up crashing into a field. That would have been even worse, as it would have ended up crashing into the White House or the U.S. Capitol. Today, we never forget what happened, as we remember the almost 3,000 people that have died on September 11, 2001, which was exactly a year before I was born. And on this same day, TV channels started to just air the news or just suspended shows, while some channels still kept their normal programming, like Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, and Disney Channel. Yep, that's right, we greatness. Almost 3,000 people, 2,977. As we remember the victims of 9/11, I'm going to be playing some videos. I'm going to be playing some bits from my trip to the 9/11 Memorial almost 2 years ago in November of 2023. It was November 24th when I was in New York and went over to the One World Trade Center and went to the 9/11 Memorial. We went by Ground Zero. And yeah, but first things first, I want to give you a timeline. At around 8:46 was when the first plane hit the one of the towers in the World Trade Center. And actually, we'll show a little bit of the video. This was supposed to be for a documentary about firefighters. When the first plane hit the North Tower, they were filming what firefighters were doing in New York City, and they caught this. This is when things changed forever. History happened. I have one. Michael left. Yep, that's just crazy. The explosion. Can you and definitely, I feel sorry for all the people who were in that plane when it got hijacked and crashed into one of the buildings, the North Tower, because that was just awful. Yep, history was caught on film that day. Yep. And now I'm going to show you some parts of when I was at the 9/11 Memorial 2 years ago. Here are some pictures. Yep. You can pause and read this if you want, but I'll read it. On September 11, 2001, 19 terrorists who were members of Al-Qaeda, an Islamist extremist network, hijacked 4 California-bound commercial airplanes shortly after their departures from airports in Boston, Massachusetts, Newark, New Jersey, and Washington, D.C. in a coordinated attack that transformed the planes into weapons. The hijackers intentionally flew 2 of the planes into the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center and another into the Pentagon in Arlington, Virginia. Learning about the other hijackings through telephone calls, passengers and crew members on the 4th plane launched a counterattack. When the passengers attempted to breach the cockpit, the hijacker pilot, who had changed course towards the nation's capital, crashed the plane into a field in Somerset County, Pennsylvania, near the town of Shanksville. Nearly 3,000 people were killed that day, the single largest loss of life resulting from a terrorist attack on American soil and the greatest single loss of rescue personnel in American history. Approximately 2 billion people around the world witnessed those horrific events. Yep, through TV and internet. Yep, and this was the timeline. This was at 8:46 was when the first plane crashed into the North Tower, and then the South Tower at 9:03. And then the Pentagon was hit into at 9:37, and then there was that plane crash into a field near Shanksville, Pennsylvania. So that was the timeline from the museum. And this is exactly what New York City looked like at 8:30 a.m. right before everything changed. Lots of things changed for the world, for better or for worse in America. Airport security became way more stricter because of this. Like, you can't take certain things with you, which does make sense, but they became really, really strict because of that. That's just proof that 9/11, this terrorist attack, when it came to preventing terrorism, It changed the face of the United States, but not just the entire world. Yep, you can't take a knife or a gun with you to to the airports. And now I'm going to show you my trip to the One World Trade Center. I clipped it exactly from the New York City trip video, so we're gonna watch it together, the tour. And I do have some video of the Ground Zero where the Twin Towers used to be, so we're gonna do that. Yep, there's the World Trade. One World Observatory. Yep. This is Ground Zero. You can see all the names of the people who have died are written exactly on where the Twin Towers used to stand. And here's a cemetery near the church. The church right by here. And here is the fire station where the first responders and firefighters responded to the attacks. That's awkward. This is the fire. That was a list of all the fire department people who risked their lives. Those are the fire. Yep. 343. New York. Yep. It's even more sad to be somebody who was in the Twin Towers working. You were supposed to go home, but you couldn't, and you got stuck, and you had to die in the towers. Definitely, my thoughts every year go out to the families of the people who have died. And do. May we never forget.
Here, when they finally found a place for it here at the memorial. So it's finally made its way back to its home.
Yeah, I wish I could have recorded the entire speech, but I didn't have that much, footage to record. I didn't have that much recording time, but we had a tour guide, and she was talking about all of the places and the significance of those places. People in the South Tower were not allowed to evacuate. Yeah, they didn't rebuild the Twin Towers. In fact, One World Trade Center is right next to Ground Zero, which that's where that's the site of where they used to be, where you saw the fountain right there. All right, and here we're about to take the elevator ride up.
I'm too old for this.
You're just getting started.
Oh, you're sick.
Here's a timeline of when New York City was being built, right on the elevator.
Oh, I guess it goes all the way.
Look how shaky.
Yep.
New York.
This is the whole town being built.
All the time. 1940s.
Welcome to One World Observatory.
That was great.
Oh, my ear has a second floor.
Welcome, come down this way, step in, come right through here.
Yep, here it is, the top of One World Trade Center. Yep, 1,776 feet. Yep, which represents the year that America got its independence. Yep, 102nd floor.
And now, we invite you to enter One World Observatory through the doors on your right, where a spectacular 360-degree view of the city awaits directly below you.
If you have the virtual tour guide, they're right outside the door, and they'll display that for you. The restaurant is one floor below here, the observatory is 2 floors down. Please step out, go downstairs.
Yep, and like the person said, there is a restaurant here. There was a restaurant at the top of the Twin Towers, and there was also a Warner Bros. Store at the very bottom, which both of them are now gone. But they did rebuild a new restaurant in the One World Trade Center. Yep, the restaurant was at the North Tower. Yep, that's correct. Right. Look at how close you are to the Statue of Liberty.
There she is.
Got the Statue of Liberty over there. Here's the Brooklyn Bridge.
Where are we? Oh, right there.
Yeah, we're not that far from the bridge. Yep, there's Brooklyn over there, but I didn't get to enter Brooklyn. But that's how close we were.
Well, far enough. I couldn't walk it. I don't think you can walk the bridge yet.
What island do you think this is? Ellis Island?
I don't know. No, Ellis Island, I think, would have a big, that's over there. See it kind of?
Yeah.
Through there? Why don't we get the rest?
All right, I'll do that. Let me get this in. Let's get this in post. Yep, there's New Jersey. Let's see it going down. It's too bad you can't get on the very, very top part of the building like you were able to when you like you were able to get on top of the building on the Twin Towers, but just not on this one, not on the One World Trade Center.
visiting One World Observatory.
All right, and that was about it. That's the most I'm going to show. That was the One World Trade Center trip. It was a very great trip I did like 2 years ago. I'd love to go back to New York maybe. I don't know if I'll visit the One World Trade Center again in the 9/11 Memorial, but if I'm able to, I would. But yeah, and now one thing I will do is have a moment of silence for everybody that died on the September 11th, 2001 terrorist attacks. Thank you. I think I'll end this stream at around the 30-minute mark. And yeah, I would show other clips like of channel surfing of television during 9/11 and such. But you can find a lot of that on YouTube. I'm not going to show copyrighted content on this stream. I don't want to risk getting this video blocked. But yeah, I do know some people who were alive on 9/11. I do remember my older sister went to a school. My mom took my older sister to kindergarten, I think, and after my mom dropped her off and went home, that's when she saw what happened. How was my day yesterday? My day went good. Yeah, so far I'm just chilling as we never forget the lives that were lost. It would make sense for the Twin Towers not to be recreated again because on the original one it took 6 to 7 years to make it fully. Yeah. And also I was originally going to show Depressed Ginger's videos of the what if scenarios on the attacks and about the hijackers and others, but you can look them up. I would show them on, but they would be a bit too long for me to show them on this stream. And I just thought I'd be a lot more respectful on this stream. But if you want, go look up Depressed Ginger's videos on 9/11. Is it true that Depressed Ginger's depressed? I think that's just a name. But yeah, the views from the Twin Towers and of course the One World Trade Center are very great. The Empire State Building view is really great too. You can see the entire city. You can see all those islands. You can see Brooklyn. You can see Staten Island, Statue of Liberty or Liberty Island, New Jersey. Yeah, and I remember, I think there was a scene in Home Alone 2 where Kevin was on the top of one of the Twin Towers. For some reason, that scene got deleted. I don't know why that scene got deleted, all because 9/11 happened. I think they should have just kept that scene in. Which I think they should have kept that scene in. That's a piece of history. Yeah, like people just couldn't fly. They just people were too afraid to fly because of what happened, because of those planes being hijacked and crashed. They're worried something like that would happen. Now, flying to places is a lot safer now. I have been on planes myself, and it's a really good way to travel. Being on planes is not that bad. In fact, I actually took a plane for my trip to New York City. I went on a layover, then went to New York City, and it actually wasn't that bad. The views were pretty great in New York when I was going in on the plane. Yeah, there are people who think that 9/11 was an inside job and it's not real, it's fake. Well, how is it faked? Tell that to the people who died. Seriously, tell that to the people who died. It's not faked at all. Seriously. Anyways, guys, I'll give this stream about 10 more minutes, and I'll end this tribute stream right here. Yeah, I don't know why some people would think that. There are people that talk about Building 6. There's all those other buildings part of the World Trade Center, and they don't think to talk about them, too. Yeah, Building 7 being in demolition. I don't think so. All the other buildings got tore down too because when the towers went down. Yeah. But anyways, if you want to check out my New York City trip video, I do have it in my traveling with Brick playlist. I just saw show a clip of it. You saw the New York, which if you go on a tour, you see the fire station near where the Twin Towers were, where the firefighters went out and helped out with the Twin Towers. That's where they were. That's where they were at. Yeah, 2.3 trillion was missing day before. I've heard about the owners of the Twin Towers actually did get insurance for whenever there was a terrorist attack or something like 9/11 would happen, and he got a lot of money from that. Why do you think the Twin Towers were not rebuilt? Probably many reasons. They probably kept Ground Zero up as a piece of history, and the attacks led to war on terror. Yeah, but some of the wars were very very unnecessary. Honestly, all they need to do just go after the terrorists, go after the people who are responsible, which they did go after the people who were responsible, and they did kill them, which is good. Yep, Larry Silverstein. Yep, that was the person that owned the Twin Towers that got insurance for the for the towers, and the wars were too long. Yep. But yeah, all I gotta say is never ever forget the heroes of September 11th, all the people who survived and the family members of the people who died. Our thoughts go out to them every single year on this day. We never forget how it changed the world, how it changed the United States as a whole. And yeah, honestly, I do appreciate you guys for coming by and stopping by on this stream as we remember what happened 24 years ago. The World Trade Center did also got bombed in 1993. Yep. Maybe the same day. Yeah, I heard about what happened yesterday. I heard about Charlie Kirk getting shot. That's just awful. Even if you don't agree with his views entirely, even if he made some points that people don't fully agree with, he didn't deserve to die over that. Seriously. Like, yeah, and also, yeah, school shooting. Yeah, they didn't talk about the school shooting as much, and just like terrorist attacks, school shootings and assassinations, they're very serious too. Did you think he survived? Well, to be fair, after seeing the video after seeing the graphic video, it was inevitable. Unfortunately, he wouldn't be able to survive that. But yeah. Yeah, that shit was crazy. Hey, what's up, Mega Gamer? Yeah, I'm already about to end the stream in about a few minutes, but we just did a tribute to 9/11 to the victims. Yep, never forget. Although he was an idiot for having advocated even before. Yeah, even if it was foreshadowing, he didn't deserve it though, Flair. Yep, and he has 2 kids now. Yep. His 2 kids don't have a father now. They have to grow up without a father. That's just terrible. Especially this is especially the same to 9/11. Like there were kids who had family that worked in the Twin Towers or worked in New York, and they ended up dying and risking their lives, and they're no longer here. I feel sorry for the children of the people who died in the planes and the Twin Towers as well. Yeah, that Ukrainian girl got killed. Yeah, on the train. Yep. 9/11 was indeed a tragic event. My condolences to all the victims. Yep. But anyways, yeah. Especially having his wife and kids see their father get shot. Yeah, they didn't deserve to see that. Like, he didn't deserve to die like that. Yeah, that's just awful. And not to mention, I can't imagine, speaking of 9/11, I can't imagine being a kid being able to watch that stuff. If you were in school during that time, you had to see what was going on. That was definitely tragic. I've heard of from teachers that from some of my teachers in school when they were there, when they were working at the school, like during the cafeteria, during lunch when they usually talk, it was all silent that Tuesday, September 11th, 2001. It was all silent the whole day. When did I first hear about 9/11? Probably when I was younger, when I was a little kid. I think they would talk about it in school like pretty much every single year, I think. And I know for people like Wheat Dude and others who are in school right now, they're probably talking about the 9/11 attacks right now. Whenever there's school on that day, they always talk about it. And this morning I did see the tribute that they did to the 9/11 victims, like where they had a marching band and such like that. I've seen that. Yep, exactly. All of them that were born, they were born in the late 2000s or early 2010s. Like almost 10 years pretty much. All right, I'm letting the stream at like the 30-minute mark. I appreciate you guys and my biker gang supporters for giving out your tributes and coming here to pay your respects to the people who died on 9/11. I do appreciate that. Yep. Hey, what's up, Sawyer? Yep, never forget. Never forget. And I appreciate you guys who are here to see the when I watched my trip to New York City, as well as when I showed the first plane hitting the North Tower. That was very, very tragic. And yeah. And also the thumbnail picture you saw, that is of when the second plane hit the South Tower. That was what that picture was. I'm not going to be able to show it on this stream, but you'll see it from the thumbnail. Yep, 24 years ago today. Yep. Yep, and there was United Flight 175. Yep, there was Flight 11. There was Flight 93. Flight 93 was the one that crashed in Pennsylvania. Yeah, when the first plane hit, they thought it was just an accident, but then they realized it was a terrorist attack because it was a hijacking. Yep, everyone figured that out. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching the stream. Never forget the people that died. And to all the victims that are still suffering, you have our thoughts. Our thoughts go out to you. Our thoughts go out to those people. Yep. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, it's not about the Empire State Building. It's mostly about the Twin Towers and the other places that got hit. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this tribute stream. I appreciate you guys. That'll be about all. This has been Brick, and I'm out. So yeah, see you soon, guys. See you later with greatness. Adrian M, Sawyer, Mega Gamer. Thank you all so much for watching.